Spurs of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Hello, everyone, and welcome in to another edition of the This is always Michael and Jacob coming to you live following a 1-1 draw in the Champions League to Sporting CP and previewing this weekend's match, tomorrow to be specific, against Bournemouth in the Premier League on the road. But first off, Jacob, welcome in, my friend. I know we're not here on the happiest of circumstances. Very frustrating, very confusing, very just like emptiness, if you will, coming into this live stream. But nevertheless, my friend, it's good to see you. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
I'm not gonna say empty, Michael. First and foremost, I'm like 3/4 full right now.
Yeah, you're almost full.
It's almost game day. I reach maximum capacity, and then I would say the levees break. The Daniel levees open for me, and the moisture flows. So, Michael, I'm ready for you to jump in the pool with me, brother. Let's get wet. Let's get to it. But man, I'm just happy you're here. If
I'm getting ready to put on the trunks.
Empty.
I'm getting ready to put on my trunks right now. Like, I'm not committed yet, but
yeah,
if who knows? Maybe a 5-0 result will convince me otherwise going into next week. But look, man, I know we have a match tomorrow. Obviously, a huge match in the midweek in the Champions League next week as well. But then there's also Liverpool looming ahead. So there's a big. What, 8-9 days? Yeah, 9 days, if you will. 9-day stretch coming up for Tottenham Hotspur. But first off, my friend, we have a very special guest. Kuva is joining us in a minute. But we also want to give a shout out to a very special group of people. Our very own patrons, if you want to join, patreon.com/United Spurs of America. We have the Soggy Undies Club.
Yes,
Alan,
sir.
Mr. 10-inch himself, Sibley,
Alan.
and Reyes Jr., Jacob's homie. The 10-inch club, Faraz, Goguma, Queen Ellie, Tottenham Till I Die, and C. Shearman, Wallaby Way, Sydney, Official Supporters Club, Scott M, James Joris, J. Co, David, Aaron Dub, and
Jack K. Kaniki. They signed up very recently, as well as Gina Kim and Tom Markkinen in the Lovers Lane. We also got Bobby K with 3 Spurs boys in the Lovers Lane, C Cubed in the Lovers Lane. So I'm about to put it in the chat. I'll pin it to the top. So whenever you feel ever so privy, you can go click that link, select your club, figure out how you want to support this channel. And you know what, even if you don't want to click the link, even if you don't want to do all that work, all you got to do is hit that like, hit that subscribe, share this video with your mother, your brother. They want to watch this YouTube channel. So big ups to everyone who's already doing so. We're on the road to 500 subs.
356.
356. We've cracked the 350. So I mean, come on, we almost there. We less than 150, and we got the 500. That'll be a special moment. We'll do a special stream for that. But big ups, everyone who's helped us out along the way. And without further ado, let's just bring in the legend himself. And when I'm trying to think about how to open this, because we're about to play the cherries. We've been popping cherries on the channel.
What, 2 out of the last 3 weeks we've popped a cherry?
I think 3 out of the last 4.
3 out of the last 4, yeah.
This is going to be 5 out of the last 6. So it's
nice
pretty special.
Stretch we have going on.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. So without further ado, let's bring in the one and only Kuva. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Might be a bit late popping the old cherry there, though. I think that happened when the world was black and white. Yeah, it's been an interesting week, hasn't it? As it usually is for Spurs.
Yeah.
All the lows and not quite so lows you expect. Oh, come on. We've got to beat Bournemouth. We've got to beat Bournemouth tomorrow, haven't we? Let's get a bit of a pre-match confidence going at some point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No, for sure.
I'm of the mindset, like Michael said, we need to get like a 5-0. If they score one, we need to do worse than what we did to Leicester, in my opinion. It need to be like a 7-1 if they go out there and they put one on us. And that's just because of pride at this point. In the Prem, we've lost 2 on the bounce.
Frustration, honestly. If I'm being selfish, it's just out of frustration. Like, I just want to see a fucking 7-0, 7-1. Like, just
go out there and just spank somebody.
After the last few games that we've been performing in.
I'll be okay if we just scraped a 2-1 win, as long as we look like we could have scored 5 or 6.
Just feel like we need a lot of confidence going into next Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? Yeah, I think we're playing on Tuesday next week, but it's a big fixture, man. And like I said, it's a big 9 days. Kuva, first off, man, just wanted to get your overall thoughts on the performance in midweek against Sporting CP at home. Obviously, a lot of drama laid on with VAR, but on the performance as a whole, man, what were your overall thoughts, and how are you feeling going into this Bournemouth fixture?
I think, considering it was a must-win sort of game, terrible first half. We're really slow, sluggish, didn't move the ball quickly, didn't look like we had any ideas. Oh, you get that initial little start now with us. It's really weird, isn't it? You get 2 minutes of like Spurs ultra, and then suddenly just flattens out. So us being very passive, doing nothing. It carried on into the second half, but got to say, Brian Hill, though I thought was finished with this club, really, he brought a lot of life into the team. There was a real spark when he came on. Perhaps there's something worth looking at again. Certainly better than Lucas Moura, who was terrible. Worst player on the pitch by a mile. He looked like he'd
really?
I think he looked like he'd had a 5-year break from playing football.
I thought he did the usual Lucas Moura tango, which is 1 step forward and 2 steps back, and it's just like he would be like, oh, that was nice, Lucas. Now pass it. Now please just pass it, and then he would, and they'd take the ball from him. I felt like it was just typical like that. For me, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but when you were talking about, I think it's a good first topic. Like, who did we think was the worst? In my opinion, who's been the worst over the past 4 out of 5 games for me is Eric Dyer. He's been the sole reason that we've conceded goals in 4 out of the past 5 games. At least 1, if not 2 of those goals in each of those. So for me, that he was the worst player. And then I would say maybe Ben Davies or Doherty. Then would be Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura and Doherty maybe even push because they both just doing the typical Lucas Moura dance. 1 step forward. Michael, who did you think was the worst?
We had talked a little bit about it midweek, Jacob. I think it was either Wednesday or Thursday, but for me, I've been giving him a lot of slack, man. Like I really have. I've been a little bit lenient. Never mind. Sorry. I'll correct myself. I've been a little bit more lenient with him just because he had proven himself last season to be a little bit more consistent. But Jesus Christ, man. And I told you, Jacob, this man could have had a hat trick. A hat trick against Sporting. I think it's Eric Dyer as well. I would have to agree with you, Jacob. I thought he was...
What did you text me yesterday morning?
There was so many times where I just said, Dyer, what the fuck? And I don't think I've said that as consistently throughout a match since maybe when we had Jose Mourinho. That's how long it's been since I've seen a performance like that from Eric Dyer. He's been sloppy at the back in the past few games. I will agree, but I think that game against Sporting, man, it just showed you the embodiment of what makes him such a frustrating player sometimes. Yes, he can be great and he can be consistent. He has proven that in the past. But recently, man, I mean, you already said it, Jacob. He's been one of the sole reasons why we've conceded goals in 4 out of the last 5 games. For me, I've been giving him a little bit.
Score.
And
fifth one's only because Everton could score.
And like I said, I haven't been as rough on him as I have been in the past. But after a performance like that, man, especially when he's had I think 2 out of those 3 chances that he had to score were literally open net chances. He just didn't put it on frame. I don't know. I'm going Eric Dyer.
It's a good shout. I think with Eric Dyer, you're right. It's just consistently bad now. He's the most notorious clown since John Wayne Gacy, the serial killer.
Say that name
some people are going to get that one.
And here in America, that's a pretty well-known.
It's a well-known name.
Yeah, big fan, by the way. Better than Eric Dyer.
Hey, he defended the basement of his house better than Eric Dyer defends the basement of our defense. So
true. Level of consistency you can only dream of.
Yeah, I mean, Eric Dyer is just like where. Ian Ferguson, John Wayne Gacy reference drink now. I mean, we're 10 minutes in and John Wayne Gacy's come up. Kuva, this is already a unique
and
show.
We've already had an F-bomb. I think I dropped an F-bomb, right?
No, I don't think so. I think we're good. But what are they going to do? What are they going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Tempted to drop an F-bomb when you say Dyer, though, isn't it? If not worse. But
YouTube
Yeah.
couldn't shut us down for that because we're not monetized. What are they
There
going to
you
do?
go.
Not advertise on something they already don't advertise on? So come on.
Perhaps you'll get a strict telling off.
Hey, they know, hey, if they watch this, shout out YouTube. What's up, bro? Send me an email. Let's link up. Help me get some subs. Push my shit out there. That's what I would say if they email me anything.
I think terms of the match though. Do you think it's time to give Brian Hill a chance starting perhaps against Bournemouth?
That was one of the topics that I definitely did want to cover today. Just especially because I know Jacob's been he's been having a strong opinion in the past about Brian Hill, and to a certain degree, I have also on some of the episodes. Jacob, I'm gonna open up with you, man. We're going up against Bournemouth. You already mentioned it. It's about the level of Eric Dyer, how he's playing right now. When you look at the Premier League table, they are in 14th right now, and they've only won 1 out of their last 5 games in the Premier League as well. Is it time to start Brian Hill? Give him a chance again? He hasn't had many chances in the Premier League, at least recently.
No, and
Last time he did have chances, he struggled.
you know what I find interesting about this whole thing is, listening to the American broadcast, listening to Spurs broadcast because they put it up on Spurs Play, and you can listen to whoever the fuck it is that announces for these Spurs matches. But
Shout out.
and then I started listening to like what ESPN. I listened to that, and then I listened to what people on YouTube are saying, people on Twitter. And the one thing that is the common denominator out of no matter what they all had to say is he came in that match and made shit look different. And I think that when we're in a situation that we're kind of in the season, in this juncture, it's like, why? It's the same reason why I say about Jed Spence. He may not be good enough. He may not be technically sound enough. He may not tactically have all of what Antonio Conte is trying to accomplish in a player because he's young and he's spiritful, whatever it may be. He sees him every day. But my argument for it is, what do we have to lose? Because we've seen what our other options are at that position. Kulusevski's out, Richarlison's out. Third is what, Mora? I mean, Brian Hill showed us enough in that amount of time in that Champions League match for me to say, you know what, this is Bournemouth. They're a yo-yo team. Why not let him get a run at it? Give him 45 minutes. He sucks. Bring in Lucas at halftime. You know what I mean? It's that simple. I've also seen the argument that Brian Hill, maybe he's best served coming on for 30 minutes and just exploding with all that energy and burst that he has. Maybe he can't, stretch. Why not let him try? Why not start Jed Spence? Emerson Royale's no-look pass, I've seen it enough times that it actually pisses me off. Like, at first I was laughing. At first I thought it was funny because it's like, of
Makes
course,
me want to stab my eyes out, and it always has.
Of course, within 30 seconds, Emerson has the ball. He crosses it into the gut of a defender, per usual. Somehow we end up back with the ball. It gets back to Emerson, and he does a no-look pass to Brian Hill. And even if he was looking, I don't think he completes that pass. But to do the no-look, there's got to, at some point, Conte's got to say, you know what, Doherty's ass, Emerson's ass, and even if Jed Spence's ass, give them a chance. And if we have no Kulu, we have no Richarlison, Lucas Moura's kind of ass, Brian Hill's kind of ass. So
he didn't do anything on the pitch against Sporting to make me say, yeah, Lucas Moura actually, hey, maybe we should give him a second look. You know what I mean?
Maybe
Kulu's
it's his
out right now,
resurgence,
Richarlison's out right now. Hey, while some of these guys are out injured, he can take advantage of the increased playing time that he's going to get. In no point in the match did that thought ever cross my mind.
Yeah,
Throughout the entire game, it was I just want Kulusevski back. I would rather see Richarlison play. I know he wasn't in the best of form before he got injured, but I would rather see Richarlison play than this. Like, there was at no point where I was like, Lucas, let's give this guy a second chance. Let's give him this playing time, and he'll take advantage of it. Maybe he'll get a goal, maybe a few assists here or there. Nah, man. So at this point, I think you got to look at Heel.
Yeah, I think Lucas's career finished in Amsterdam. Really, he's had one good game. That's last season where he scored or won the goal, but that's about it.
I think too, because he had a nice header in a European game, maybe, or a cup match. He had a really nice Air Lucas header. That's one of the only things I remember from last year that he did.
He's one of those players that turns up once every 15 or 16 games and does something. We used to have Baron
More
Lennon,
like 20 or 25 games.
maybe. But I think with Kulusevski out, obviously everybody wants Kulusevski back, don't they?
It's just nothing but pain when you think about
I
it.
think Richarlison should be next in the pecking order. But then it's for me now, you've got to give Hill a chance over Lucas Moura. If that's the choice, it's one of those two. Go with Hill. At least there was something there. Even if it's raw, even if he gets it wrong, at least give him a full run out and see what he can do.
Because he's at least going out there and trying. You can see the intent with that man's runs. And you know what? It was welcome to see, because when he first got here, he was just kind of just a little ball of energy running around out there. And I was just kind of like, bro, calm down. You're in, you know. And then in Korea, we kind of got to see some more. We wanted to loan this guy out, but we did not, obviously. I think that was because we just were expecting to make another signing, and we didn't. That's what I think it was. And we just kept him purely because of numbers. But what do you got to lose? That's my only...
I'm still of the opinion that I think he's not going to make it with us. I think he is a little bit too fragile. He'll struggle. He needs to play in a different league. But, you know, having an argument on another channel earlier in the day about, you know, Luka Modric was that sort of build as well. He made it. Although Luka Modric, you didn't see him packed off on loan within the first sort of few months of him arriving. And, you know, he only plays 85 minutes in the first 9 games. That's what spread over 9 games, I should say, like Brian Hill did. Mm-hmm. So he has a lot of ground to make up. It's a big chance, but as he said, what is there to lose if the alternative's Lucas Moura, who basically plays with his head down so much he's the only player that comes off the pitch with grass stains on his nose. Unless you count Dele Alli, but that's a different sort of grass stains.
What kind of grass stains does Dele Alli get? We can save it. I just saw he posted on Instagram in a story yesterday. He shaved. He had a fresh shave, and he said baby face.
Hope he's doing well in Turkey.
I think he's having a good time in Turkey.
Look, you look at Brian Hill, and for me, the reason why I think I'm a little bit more willing to give him a shot than what was it, Jacob, where we were talking shit about him like 4 weeks ago or something like that? 5 weeks ago?
Last time we saw him in a Spurs shirt, when he had like that one good move on the back, and then the rest of the game was just awful.
I think it was the last European appearance he had before this one. He played decently as well. If he hadn't played decent in multiple games and I hadn't seen it more than once and it wasn't just a one-off, I wouldn't be as willing to give him a chance. And I would say, you know what? I know Lucas isn't the greatest of options, but he might be more effective than Heel has been, or he might not fall over as much as Heel has in the past. He's actually shown that he can take defenders 1v1. He can spread the ball out as well. He draws defenders more wide now, I think, because he's not as tempted to cut inside before he receives the ball. I think he's staying a little bit further out wide, which makes him a little bit more effective because then he can cut in when he does have the ball. He's got a little bit more awareness than he'd had when he first kind of came on for us last season. So I think if it wasn't for the positive improvements that I'm seeing from him in the past few games, I wouldn't be as willing. But look, I got to give credit where credit's due. I know I was talking shit about him, a month or two ago, but this guy's put on some decent performances. He's created chances as well. He created that penalty against what was it, Frankfurt, I believe, or whoever it was before. Look, he's proven with the limited minutes that he's gotten that maybe he deserves a little bit more time. And hey, you have some guys injured now at that position that he's used to playing. Why not give him a start in the Premier League? Let's see how he does. The last time he played in the Premier League, remember, guys, he wasn't the best, right? He turned the ball over a lot. He just didn't seem to have that much awareness. Yeah, he got bullied off the ball. So he's going to have to be aware that defenders are going to try to bully him off of the ball and try to throw him on the ground constantly. He's got to be able to fight through that, and that's something we haven't seen yet. He's got to be able to prove that in the Premier League.
I think Jacob nailed it with just saying, we've got nothing to lose, because this is the sort of attitude I wish would go to the team anyway, when it just comes to playing football, because they will play like they're really worried about making a mistake. They're really tense, nervous, making tons of mistakes, misplaying passes. If they just went out of there with the attitude, you know, everybody's expecting us to screw up here, perhaps they'll just relax, play a bit. As soon as the football side comes back to these players, we've got damn quality in this squad. Sonny and Kane up front, for God's sake. If we can't win with those two as strikers, what chance is there?
Yeah. I agree with that. And it's really unfortunate because I felt like at a certain point with this transfer window, we were like, okay, we got some depth and pretty much our attack with Richarlison. We started to feel, at least for me, I started to feel like a little bit of like, okay, we're making steps in the right direction. And I never thought that this would be something we'd fix in one window. And especially after Conte said, yeah, after this, give me 3 more windows and then maybe we can compete. Yeah. And so it's like, so that helped me temper my expectations. But it's interesting because we're really starting to fall into this problem where it's like Kulusevski goes down, Richarlison did not do well in his stead and then got injured himself. And it's like, okay, what the fuck? Okay, one guy, and then that brings me to the physio room. You know, what the hell's going on in there? It's the black hole. It is the land of no return, the upside down. I don't know.
I've got a theory about this. I think they have just got some banging music going on in the physio room. Everybody likes being in a bit of a party going around. Few beers, few cocktails. It's just like the place to be. They don't want to let people go out because they're having fun time.
They've got their own sauna, their own dance room. Everything.
It's got to be. It's just
couches.
Bit of thumping club sort of anthem beat going on the outside.
Yeah, like what is going on in there? It's the club you don't want to leave. It's the club that never closes, and you know. I just struggle with it because Oliver Skipp, he didn't leave the club at all last year. He went to the club never to be.
He was
returned.
a VIP in the second half of the season.
He had bottle service. This man was
Lamella half of his career there.
Yeah, Lamella is all you can eat, all you can drink. VIP.
Lemon pepper wings. Come on.
Hey, if you can do a Rabona, you get a free pass.
You want a Busquets. Off that.
So one of the questions that I wanted to ask also, I had asked, I think 2 weeks ago with you, Jacob, and I can't remember who was our guest that week, but I asked this same question a few weeks ago, and we were all pretty much in agreement. And I'm interested to know the two of you's opinions, and anyone in the chat as well. You're welcome to chime in, as always.
As always.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most worried, how worried are you right now with the state of our back line? Kuva, I'm gonna start it with you.
It's gotta be a 7 at least.
You're only at a 7?
Well, we're not. It's not like we're conceding 8 or 9 a match. It's
okay.
So,
United would have been that. The back line gave up that much for United. It's just luckily Hugo was having a day.
You could also argue that they were doing enough to sort of hold them to most of those shots being long range or something, but it's not good, is it?
I like it.
That's what I'm going for. It's a 7 out of 10 Warrior. It can easily go up to a 9 or 10 after a few minutes of one game, but it's hovering around the. It needs definite work, and if you look at the way we start and the way we finish some games, it's kind of flip of a coin. Are we going to look like we're going to hold out easily? We have in some games. Against Brighton, although the score was really tight, we defended really well in that game. Against Everton, they had a couple of breakaway chances, but otherwise we were solid. Then, as you said, against United, what was that, 28 shots conceded? It was horrendous. We're just, especially away from home, we're just not going to win, are we? In fact, no, I can't even be optimistic about Bournemouth at the moment. In fact, no, let's go 10 out of 10. I'm really worried.
You're worried about the back line. Here's my thing. I know we're going to Vitality Stadium, and I got tons of vitality. But
good. We've had good results at that venue.
Bro, these are the cherries. They're cherries. I know I like to bring in... the Seagulls are some dirty bastards at the fucking pier, and they'll take your sandwich and shit on your shoulder. Yes, there's some bastards. These are cherries. They're just there. You go pick them, you pluck them, you eat them, you put them in a martini. Who gives a shit? Make a Shirley Temple. There's so many things you can do with cherries, but they're just there for you to take. They're not attacking you. They're not going to do much other than just be there, ready for you when you want them. They might go bad if you don't hurry up and fuck them up, but... So my thought is this. You go out there, you pick a couple cherries, munch them down, and just have a good day. have a nice weekend day.
The question
picking
remains the
cherries.
same though, Jacob. How worried are you on the back line though? Out of
For
10?
for going forward, a 9 out of
Yes.
10. 9 out of 10.
9, okay.
But for this game, probably about a 5 out of 10 because this is Eric Dyer level competition. This is Ben Davies level competition.
And
This is a little bit above Emerson Royale, but like
as
it's
far as this 9-day stretch, the next 9 days, how worried?
10
are
out
you?
of 10. No, actually, I'm going with J. Co. 990.
990.
Because we are going to be that team that we're going to Dr. Tottenham Liverpool. And they've been struggling, and this is going to be a moment for them where they're like, we're back. We just shat on them. And like, I'm not looking forward to that because our backline is ass. I propose, actually, I've been proposing the past few weeks, a scenario in which I think may be better, where we start, instead of Davies, Dyer, Romero, we go Clementine, Romero, and Sanchez. What's Sanchez going to do that's going to be worse than Eric Dyer? He's just going to give up a couple goals. Eric Dyer going to do that anyway.
He's worse with his feet on the ball in the back though, under pressure.
But he's stronger. I feel like you give Sanchez those 3 chances that Dyer had, he puts one of those away because he's a fucking man. He's not a little boy. And at this point, I'm tired of watching Eric Dyer. Anything to get him out of my fucking 11. That's just my thinking. I'm done with him. I think he's been hanging out with the dude from Barstool Sports, the Predator dude, and then also Doughboy. And unfortunately, Kane, I feel like, has been hanging out with them as well, bringing down his swag level, if you will. So it's just, there's a problem, and we need the problem extinguished. Get Dyer, Davies out. Kane, now you have to fucking hang out with Heung-min Son. All right, be a part of a different clique. Don't go golfing with your cargo shorts friends. Like, chill out. All right, hang out with the rest of the cool boys. You know, who do you think Romero's inviting over to his house? Not Kane. He's inviting Sonny. Or he's inviting Richarlison. He's inviting the guys that are cool, man. We want some cool dudes with some juice. We need some juice, you know what I'm saying? And this is the perfect game to turn that thing around. I know Doughboy and Davies and Dyer, they're all still going to be there. But this 9-day stretch, 10-day stretch, whatever it is, it's going to be hell. And it's going to be trying, and it's going to be testing. It's going to really push our team mentally and physically. So I don't think we're at the point in which we can comfortably be going into all these matches feeling good about where we're at. Now, luckily, we have Bournemouth. So this is a time when we got to... It was like Southampton last year, so I'm scared. I'm a little scared now the more I think about it, because it was just like, this is a game you got to go out there and win it because you just did the X, Y, and Z.
You're definitely scared if your plan is to bring in Sanchez instead of Dyer.
I just feel like they offer you the same amount of negatives, but one offers you maybe one more positive.
I think I can almost see you thinking that, except for I'd actually keep Romero on the right and put Sanchez in the middle, because the one thing Sanchez is usually pretty good at is aerially. And if you got that in the centre and he's winning everything aerially, and the two either side of him are clearing up everything on the ground, might get away with it. Perhaps the extra responsibility will bring the best out of Sanchez as well. Well, who knows? But it's grasping at straws, isn't it?
I feel like that's what Conte's got to be.
Because there's no choice.
That's why I struggle with, because I know our 11s reflect that mindset of like, let's just go with what we've got. But like, me personally, I'm just fucking tired of seeing Eric Dyer out there in the middle of that park just shitting all over the place. Højbjerg trying to clean up his mess 99 out of 100 times he's able to, but then he can't. And then we fucking draw against Lisbon. So it's like, this is a team that Eric Dyer should be able to play well against, and he can't. So what gives me any hope that Bournemouth, again, this is his level of competition? I have no confidence in him, though. I feel like he's going to get...
I suppose the other way of looking at it as well is when Dyer screws up, you just see him pointing somewhere and you get angry.
Or
when Sanchez screws up, at least it's funny. At least it's genuinely funny. It's spectacularly bad. Like
against City.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so maybe keep that in for the comedy value.
Well, also I'll say without Sanchez, we didn't get Champions League last year because Eric Dyer ain't hitting that header against Watford to win the game at the end and get us a full 3 points. So Sanchez for me,
Dyer had 3 opportunities to do that and he missed all of them.
And the champion, and the fucking champions. What the fuck is that? Like,
and I hate how it's like it's come to this again
club?
Because if for those of you who have listened to us from the very beginning, when we first started this podcast, I think Eric Dyer was probably in the worst form of his Tottenham career, and we were absolutely livid with him every single week in, week out. And I hate to have to get like this, but dude, it has been so
it's necessary
bad.
At this point.
So bad, and I can't stand it anymore. I don't think Conte's going to do it. I think he trusts Dyer too much, unfortunately. But I don't know. I don't even know if I would. I don't even know if I would rather see Sanchez in the middle over Dyer. To be honest, I'm just scared that Sanchez is going to fuck something up. But then again,
it's bad.
You can also worry about that with Dyer too.
Yeah,
the same. It's the
lesser
argument
of
with
2 evils, right?
It's like the argument with Spence and Heel. What do you got to lose? If he's going to make a mistake in the middle of the park, well, we've been having mistakes in the middle of the park, so what do you got to lose? That's just kind of where I'm at.
And you look at the Marcus Edwards goal, and you see Højbjerg get sat down. You see Romero for some reason, Romero backing off for some reason and backpedaling instead of actually going for the ball and actually making an effort to close down the opposition, approaching your literal final third, the area that you're supposed to defend. When your best defender isn't your best defender, clearly, I think what would you say? Longley has probably been our best defender this season out of the 3. Would you say anyone's been better in the back?
I'm still gonna side with Romero, even though he's been 50-50. I still think he's been our best quality wise.
Lately, though, he has not. Lately, he has been.
Let me say something though. On that goal that you're talking about, on the Marcus Edwards goal, that's all fucking Eric Dyer's fault. If Eric Dyer was able to play defense like a fucking defender, he doesn't fumble and bumble and let Marcus Edwards take a dookie on him while he turns him around. And so then, yes, Højbjerg got sat down because he was like, oh shit, let me go try and help the homie because he looks like a fucking bumble of butt. And he goes over there and let me help you. And he slips too, gets fucked up. So now it's like Romero's got Marcus Edwards to his left. He's got another guy on his right. He's trying to play the best move, which is play it safe. I don't think this guy's going to take a long-range shot. And if he does, Hugo should be able to get down. And he didn't. So I don't blame Romero. I still think he's our best defender. On that goal specifically, I still blame Eric Dyer. And then it's Højbjerg's fault. And then it's Hugo's fault. And then maybe Dyer, Davies, whoever else. So that's just me personally.
I think you're being a bit harsh on Dyer. I mean, there were 2 players that were threatening at that point, and it's too much for his brain to cope with pointing in 2 directions at the same time. I mean, come on, he's only half human. No, I know he does not seem to have the priority on snuffing out the danger, does he? You look at the first goal Newcastle scored when Hugo got caught out of the goal. You know, you can blame Hugo all you like, but Eric Dyer, even
no one was closing him down.
At amateur level, your first instinct is to run back onto the goal line. He doesn't even stop. He stops playing, trying to tell the ref. He doesn't even play to the whistle. You learn this when you're at school. That for me is just unforgivable. And this is somebody people talk about. Oh, he should be club captain. Yeah, no way. It's just
people said Eric Dyer should be club captain.
Yeah,
I've heard that before.
I must be deaf because I ain't heard that.
He's got the characteristics of being a club captain. I've heard that before.
I like this Eric Diarrhea. That's pretty good one, full bull. I like that. Big up Alexander. Big up Ben Kaufman. Big up everybody in the chat. We're about 30 minutes in. This is a good time. I've been extremely a little bit negative just because we've been talking about the back line and Dyer, and it's going to naturally come out of my pores when we talk about that. But big up everybody in the chat. It's a good time to say hit that like, hit that subscribe. 31 of yous. We got 17 likes, 22 votes in the poll. So we got like 8-9 people that ain't voted in the poll, and then another 11, 12, 13 that haven't liked the video. So go ahead and do that. And if you haven't, if you don't want to, that's fine. I ain't gonna tell you how to live your life, but like just sit back and enjoy the show then.
Just get out. Yeah.
Just get the fuck. No, you can stay and chill and be a hater. That's fine. You want to live that hating ass lifestyle. That's you. That's not me. So Big up Vincent Frankenstein. That's a new name. I like it. That's a very powerful name, Mr. Vincent. It says it's better to lose trying something, Spence heals Sanchez, than to lose or draw with the same draws that is only getting worse and losing confidence. Romero was an absolute unit in the middle of a three. That's kind of why I was like, he won Serie A Defender of the Year playing in the middle of a back three without Atalanta. So my hope is that he could, be better than he has been. Because like you said, Michael, he hasn't been our, he should be standing out.
He hasn't been Rolls Royce this year like he had been in the past.
He should be standing out and shining amongst the Mini Coopers, but he's not. And he's kind of just looking like a Kia sedan, one of them nice new ones that look fancy, but they're not that fancy because they're still like 30,000. Yeah. So, but he's got it. He's got it in his bag. So, but I agree with Vincent. Why not? It's kind of the same thing. What do you got to lose? Big up Wolves Fies. Well, Rob Belcher. That's a cool name. Haven't seen you in the chat before. Big up yourself. When I saw the matchup between Marcus Edwards and Diabolical, I was really concerned. Guess what? Yep, he shattered on him. That's just what happened. So, Ben Kaufman says sack Dyer. That's true. Simon Cohen, big up yourself.
Come to this. It's gotten to this point.
Dyer is Dyer. Dyer needs to go to Wolves. Don't put that on Wolves. Don't make Adama Traore have to clean up after Eric Dyer. Don't do that. He's too good for that. Big up Carlson.
By the way, I've said this one before about Adama Traore. If we're going to play Emerson, I'm all up for getting Traore. I'll just play together.
He's got to be better than Emerson.
I'll just think that no, play them at the same time. It's just going to be hilarious.
Oh my god.
No.
I would rather have Adama Traore at right wing back than I would Emerson.
He's probably the only player fast enough to have picked up that no look pass.
He probably could have gotten there. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. Also, Adama Traore is one for the people. There's a nice little video that I sent to Michael. I guess he was at like a supermarket or something. Some kids wanted to race him in the parking lot, so he smoked them. It was pretty funny. So he's a good guy and a great baller. But anyway, moving on. He's not Tottenham. Exactly, Rob. We had 3 great chances. He did nothing. One love, Juan Daniel Sandoval. Big up yourself, buddy. Come on, you Spurs. Our Green Dyer is shocking. Should be nowhere near our club. I agree. He is Bournemouth level. We should leave him at Vitality Stadium and take nothing away. Just leave him there and say, have a good day. That's my opinion. I'm done with him. Swap Dyer for Moist Traore. Yes, let's do it. Mike, there is something I did want to talk to you about. And it's a little bit to do with the Champions League game, but also going forward and kind of what I've seen thus far as someone in the midfield, and that's in Rodrigo Bentancur. I think that he has been. You like that, Kuva?
Oh yeah,
I did it for you. Yeah, I did that for you, Kuva. Yeah. Bentancur. I think that he's really Bentancur at this point. He got up and over that keeper, smashed a header. He's starting to look more confident offensively. Offensively, he's taking shots from distance with a little bit more confidence. Yeah, they have been going wayward. Oh, what's up? We're getting spam. Find your love here. Girls 18 online. Find your love here. Don't click those links. Stay here. There you go. Someone blocked them. That's why we got mods here. Big up yourself, the mods. Yeah, man. I don't even know what I was talking about. I was like, shit, find my love here.
Bentancur.
Oh, that's right. Bentancur. I think he's being more confident as far as shooting. That's something that I think he lacked when he first joined us last January. And for that season, he just seemed like not confident about it and not like he was going to do anything. So he'd rather pass it. And we even saw it the last game? He had a clear open goal and he decided to pass it to Kulu instead. And I felt like that was just kind of an example of his confidence in his own shooting. He's scored 2 goals for us now this season. He's assisted a couple as well. I think he's starting to really shine and starting to show something like, and that's what I like, is him and Højbjerg have shown at times like, I'm the one you need to start. And we brought in Basuma, who could basically play either one of their positions, but he's not even getting a look because I think Højbjerg was not great in the Champions League, but he may have just been coming back from injury. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, he was a little bit off there, wasn't he, compared to what he's been doing this season.
Mm-hmm.
Bentancur, I agree, though. Everything he said, totally agree with. The one thing I've noticed more than anything else I've been impressed with, though, he is prepared to get on the ball and drive forward with it. It will actually carry the ball forward, physically add to the numbers going into the attack as well as the ball getting there. He's trying those killer balls through. They're not always coming off, but at least he's trying them. He's getting closer with shots. He's scored as well now. But it's on top of what he does really well, and he's been doing that for a long time, is his defensive work. He does put in a shift every single game. He's getting in blocks and tackles and interceptions. A lot of his passing off that is very simple, and people say, oh, it's just side to side, backwards. When you're in that area of the pitch, the most important thing you don't lose the ball. So sometimes you've got to do it simple just to maintain possession. And I think Bentancur's defensive game has been really underrated. The fact he's now catching the eye going forward as well shows how far he's coming. I think he's been one of our best players.
I think he's been good. I'll lead off with yes. I do agree that he's been good, and he's been one of our better players over the past game or two. The other thing that I will say is when we've struggled, he has pretty much every single time been one of the players who have been the ones who have struggled the most. You look at the game against United, you look at some of the other performances where the midfield just kind of struggles. I would like to see a little bit more consistency out of Bentancur, and especially in the bigger games. I do agree he's giving us a lot more defensively, and he's been great as well, but we've seen him struggle also to connect with the attack, like have that link between the midfield and the attack. He's been great when he has been successful at feeding, whether it be Son or Kane or even Kulusevski, Richarlison, whoever it may be on the right side. But when he's struggled, it's been driving forward. And Kulu, you mentioned Kuva, excuse me. I called you Kulu.
Kulu.
That's cool.
Hey, I think I'm just gonna call you Kulu for the rest.
Give me a Kuva
from
from England.
No, but Kuva mentioned a really good point that he's been better at driving forward with the ball. He's been better at linking as well, and playing the ball forward and being in those very good attacking areas. I just need to see a little bit more consistency from him. That's just me, though. I don't know. Do you guys feel he needs to be a little bit more consistent? Because I don't know, especially the games where we struggled a lot. Like when we were bad in the first half against Newcastle, when we were terrible at United as well. Like he's just been one of our players who, when we've struggled as a whole, he's been one of the main reasons why we struggled. Like he just can't seem to string together a few passes. He can't seem to link the attack with the midfield. So I think if he performs a little bit more consistently in the bigger games, and hey, he's gonna have a great test to do that against Liverpool next week, I'll change my opinion. But for right now, I just need to see a little bit more. I need to see more.
For me, a lot of the time, the breakdown's happening because some of the players around him are so substandard. I mean, if he's looking to play out an attacking ball and bombing past him on his right-hand side, there's Emerson. That's not really much of an outlet for you, is it? You suddenly look, I think I'll aim at Kane or Sonny and play a harder ball, but it's not been working. I know what you're saying. I just think with Højbjerg and Bentancur, a lot of the times they're getting out. Not sorry,
Bentancur.
I'll work on it. Yeah, I think a lot of the time they give the impression it's them being out muscled or out fought. It's not. It's a team game. It is that breakdown between defence and midfield, sometimes between midfield and attack. There's a lack of consistency from a lot of players. I actually think those two have probably been the most consistent. More so in recent matches. I think we're just seeing the attack inside and Bentancur. It's really starting to shine through. So he's catching the eye. I think that's got him on most people's radar now. Whereas before, a lot of his work slipped under it.
And I think a little bit of it too is, like you were mentioning earlier, Kuva, that he's been picking the ball up and driving forward. And quite frankly, I think myself and quite a few other Spurs fans have been like, please, can someone just fucking drive the ball forward and then pass it? Or is it always you got to play with your back to the goal? Like, I don't understand that. So it's been refreshing to see that. But like you've also said, Michael, every time we've played Manchester United, a big match, he's absent. And the first time we did, I was like, okay, he was coming back from a hip injury. He just, had injured his hip the game before, so like maybe he was not 100%. But this past time we played United, he was 100% healthy and he did not look good. But we were also in the 3-5-2 at the time. So I was really hoping to see that someone would shine in that midfield, because now we had three quality players in the midfield and we did not see that. And actually, we play the 3-5-2 and we lose twice. So I don't know what that says about the formation now. Do we not pick it up? Are we not good enough? But I think Bentancur, in all respect of the manner, has like been our best midfielder, you could say. So, and also we got a big Højbjerg fan in the chat from Wolves5. Big up Wolves5. Give us Adama Traore, Ruben Neves. You can have Højbjerg.
Oh, Ruben Neves, yes please.
Yes, please. I mean, even a couple years ago, that Moutinho guy was pretty good for that. Wolves have always had a pretty good midfield. Yeah.
Oh, the new player as well. I've forgotten the name now. Another midfielder's coming from Portugal. He's really looking good as well. It'll come back to me.
I'm trying to think of it too, because they do like that
Portuguese. Nunes, isn't it? Or Nunes, Nunes.
Pedro Nunes or no?
Something like that.
I could look it up, but I don't know. They've always had a good midfield. At least a couple of good players. I think that Ruben Neves guy, I think he just agreed with Barcelona, I think. Like on a pre-agreement before the window or whatever, but it'd be nice if we could get a player like that.
Barcelona, I think.
So y'all, I don't know if y'all want to talk real quickly. Do we need Ndombele back?
Oh God.
Do we need Ndombele? Ndom Big Schlong? Ndom Long Dong?
Ndom Big Balls?
Ndom Big Dick? Come on, what do we need him? Or is he just shining because he's playing for Napoli?
Conte would play him, man.
No, I don't think Conte would ever. I agree.
I think he had a big sulk while he was here, and now he's off having the defiant little bit of patch of playing well just to say screw you. I'm
great.
And then he'll have another sulk when he has to come back here.
I just don't think he likes England. You know, I just think maybe it's just not for him. Maybe it's just his mindset is better in another country. I don't know. Cody Mack says, if Spurs have a 50% sell-on clause for Marcus Edwards, does that mean we could get him half the price if he agrees to come?
I don't think that's how it works. I wish it did.
Do we have a 50% sell-on clause? That's a fucking huge-ass sell-on clause.
He was a big talent. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Have we? No, we always screw up this kind of thing. We've probably got like a 10% sell-on clause if he plays 2 million games or something.
Kuva, don't even mention Madueke either.
He's been. Yeah. I love that guy. I didn't know, actually. Michael informed me that we used to have him, and because I was watching PSV because I like that Xavi Simons, Netherlands kid. He's like 19. He used to play for PSG. He's nice little talent. So I've been paying attention to PSV, and honestly, Madueke, whenever he comes on, I'm just like, who is that guy? He's got a little something to him, but it's just interesting that we and then also Dylan Markandé, another talent. I'm like, anytime I see Blackburn Rovers on, I'm just like, this is a guy that, we just let go because whatever is going on at the academy. Is our academy a problem because we don't have a systematic like chain of command and communication going on? It's just like the academy does this
players
thing.
That get frustrated time and time again. We've seen Markandé, we've seen other players come through the academy that they want that game time or they want to be loaned out, and sometimes they don't always get that that decision or that what they want in the end, and they become frustrated, and that's when they leave. And unfortunately, there's some players who, well, I don't want to say unfortunately, but unfortunately for the club, there's some players who become very successful after they leave here. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, we regularly see some of our academy players don't get a chance to well into their early 20s. It does seem to be a policy, some sort of agreement going on there. And the whole system seems to be set up to producing players and then selling them on for, peanuts, really. It's a complete waste, in my opinion, but that's the way it is. Other academies seem to be flourishing. We're struggling to get players out. We'll have the occasional Skippy, who looks like a great player, or great player in the making. He's not there yet. Other than that, Harry Kane. Who else? There's not a lot. Kyle Walker-Peters, he was a good talent. He's playing for Southampton, and he's still better than any right wing back we've got.
Yep.
What are we doing? We just don't give the youngsters enough of a chance, and we buy mediocre players and put them on massive salaries so we can't sell them.
You could say that we used to play them a little bit more, at least when they were first on the rise when we had Pochettino. But even then, outside of what Winks, obviously Kane, but there weren't a whole lot of guys who got consistent, like year over year, season over season, consistent playing time. Than I would say Harry Winks from the academy. A lot of these other guys they just couldn't prove themselves, or Pochettino just eventually stopped giving them game time.
It gets a few of the ones that are brought in as youngsters, so it would be like Eric Dyer, Danny Rose, those sorts of players. But again, actually coming through the academy from a young lad to all the way to making the first team, it's not a lot, is there? You look at Chelsea; they seem to have some every year coming through. Mason Mount, Reece James,
best right wing back in the league. Luckily, he's injured, but.
Yeah, I mean, even one of their legendary club captain, John Terry, came through the academy. We just don't do it. We just don't put the money into it. It's like a secondary thing, always is.
Chalavera, I was just asking the question. I don't necessarily want him back. I can't forgive him for what he did. I'm right there with you, buddy. So the Cherries, like, do they have anything that we're worried about at this juncture and moment? I was talking to Michael. I was like, bro, I don't even think I can name a fucking player for Bournemouth right now. If you paid me money to not look it up, I didn't look it up because I apparently suck at pre-planning for a show, for a preview show of a team in which I cannot name one oppositional player. Is there anyone I need to be looking out for? Is there someone I should be scared of? Honestly, when they sacked Scott Parker, I was just like, relegation ass club. That's the move they would do, because I actually thought he could add something for them. But then they had a little new manager bump, and they won a game. But
did you see they have to change their pregame walkout song because it was Kanye West?
No.
Yeah, I saw that today this morning when I woke up.
What song was it?
I don't know. I don't know what song it was, but they have a Kanye West song for their pre-match walkouts and like to hype up the crowd, and they said that they're changing it in light of recent events.
I mean, good, but that's funny, man.
That's the biggest news coming out of Bournemouth these days. That's how good they are.
They're changing their walkout song.
They've got a few players that had done previous Premiership experience, but I mean, even the striker Solanke was really terrible. One of the reasons they went down in the first place. Yeah, but he's picked up since then, scoring a few goals. Billing, Cook, Lerma.
I was going to say Jefferson Lerma has had some decent games every now and again.
Yeah, Ryan Fredericks, he was at West Ham. And he was us before that. Another one of our youngsters we never really gave a chance to. Lightning quick fullback. Never got a look in. So they've got lots of players now. I'm just looking at their team sheet against West Ham, and a lot of those players I don't recognise at all. It's what you'd expect from Bournemouth. They're run on a shoestring budget. If they manage to stay in the division this season, it's an absolutely outstanding success for them. But that's what Eddie Howe was such a great manager. What he did at Bournemouth, he had almost zero budget, kept them in the Premiership year after year. Took an injury crisis for them to actually get relegated.
Jaco Kvaratskhelia or whatever his name is. Yes, Kvaratskhelia.
The Georgian winger. He's a
dog.
He's a great.
Me and Jacob have talked many times about him before. So if you know,
and he rocks that 7-7. Mike, you know how much we love 7-7. Luka the Truthka done sick with it. Yes, sir. Anyway, that's a little NBA reference for all y'all NBA fans out there. Edwards no, I don't want Edwards. I didn't think that we should bring it. He's just funny that he was dunking on his old team, and I was kind of joking about that with Colin. Shout out Colin with Talking Ball, Hotspur Hood. I was kind of joking. I was like, watch, he's going to dunk on us because it's his old team, and Eric Dyer won't do shit because it's his old team, and we just don't have any dogs anymore. Like, that's dog mentality. You go play your old team, and you dunk on them. That's what you do. Eric Dyer missed 3 layups, and it's like, come on, man. You just got to tap it on in. And that's the difference between a dog and a cat.
I would say 2 dunks and a layup.
He bricked 2 dunks, bro. Dunks aren't supposed to be bricked. What's up, C Cubed? Says hello, my favorite beautifully handsome Spurs boys.
If some of those headers went in, they would have been really, really good goals. Like, they would have. But, It is what.
Yeah, that like sideways kick thing he had, that was nice looking. Straight at the keeper.
Even the headers too. The headers would have been really good goals.
Any of them, honestly.
Dumbass.
Bro, he's so bad. We get to watch him. We get to watch that man play. Oh, that's right. Emery got signed with Villa.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, were you wanting Pochettino to sign with Villa?
No.
You
He
don't
probably
want
would
to
do
just
well, but I don't know. I kind of want him to go to like Spain or something.
Yeah,
Let's see if he can do it in Spain, La Liga or something. I want to see him try to be
he
successful there.
he did really well with Espanyol, another tiny team, relying on the youth. Always had to sell all their best players every single year, and he was performing miracles with them. That's why Southampton got him in the first place. But as usual, if you got a team that tiny, always have to sell your best players. Eventually, you are going to get into trouble, and sure enough, they did, and that's why Pochettino left. But yeah, I think going to Spain would suit him a lot more. He needs one of these project clubs, doesn't he, with lots of young players, really hungry sort of players who want to buy into his philosophy on how to play, make a name for themselves. If I was a youngster who's trying to break into one of the top leagues, that's the sort of manager I'd want to play for. Him or a well, there's a few others around, isn't there? I like to give the youngsters a go. Conte isn't really one of them, is he? Conte's kind of the opposite. He wants to protect the young players until he thinks they're ready enough to deal with the mentality of the big games. But be interesting with Pochettino where he goes. Villa would have been a good fit for him. I don't think he's going to come back here.
I just don't want to see him at another Premier League club. It would break my heart just to like play him in the Premier League. It wouldn't feel right to me. I would have to like wash my hands at halftime. I would have to wash my hands at full time. I wouldn't feel right.
A perfect club for him would have been Newcastle before Eddie Howe took over.
Yeah, I can't lie. That would have been a pretty good fit.
Young talent in the world, he would have really done something there. But Eddie Howe's doing a great job anyway.
Yeah.
So I see Hotspur TV says Adam Smith, and that's their left back. It looks like. It didn't look like he had too good of a game last game, according to SofaScore. But Jefferson Lerma, like y'all said, he seems like he's had a good. Their rank of their top players is number 1 is Lloyd Kelly, a defender, and then Neto, their goalkeeper, Dominic Solanke, the forward, Philip Billing, and then Tavernier, Lerma, Cook. So
you'd expect to see the goalkeeper up there, club their size. He's gonna be well worked, isn't he?
That's what I'm saying. They should pick up Dyer. Give us 15 mil for him, please. I'll take it.
We'd give them 15 mil, maybe.
So we're right here on an hour, coming up on anyway. I want to say big up to everybody in the chat, everyone who's participated in the poll, and everyone who's come through, hit the like. Y'all mean a lot. Even if you didn't come through and hit a like, that's cool. I support people living that hating-ass lifestyle as well. But the chat right now, we got 32 votes, 23 likes. So now there's 9 hating-ass motherfuckers out there calling y'all out. You can hit the like, but at least hit the dislike if you're not going to like. So that way I know there's, at least 11 hating-ass motherfuckers out there, because there tends to be 11 hating-ass motherfuckers out there. Every poll I do, every stream we do, Michael. So I just want to shout y'all out.
What do you think I voted on in the poll?
I think you voted... Oh, shit. Oh, we got a tie right now. There's a tie between the whole team picking cherries tomorrow, or we will choke on a few cherries. Michael, I feel like you're a little down, but not too down.
Yeah. Grin just gave it away there.
Yeah.
You said we'll choke on a few cherries. That's...
No?
Nah,
I'm not worried. Nah, I picked the other one.
Whole team picking cherries tomorrow?
Yeah, whole team's picking cherries tomorrow. Hey, we said it at the beginning of the stream. This is Eric Dyer's level right here. He's going to thrive.
He should. That's what I'm saying. That's why we shouldn't choke on some cherries tomorrow, I hope.
Well, I've got a couple of new changes of direction. I mean, every time now I'm always going to go for big up Daniel Levy. Big fan. Sack everybody.
There you go.
That's the way forward. And the other one's the reverse psychology on the team, because every time I back us to do well, we don't. I backed us for ages to win 5-2. It's going to be a crazy
last week I said, what, 3-0 against Newcastle?
Yeah, we constantly can't do it. I said 5-2, 5-2, 5-2. And I said, you know what? We keep losing or drawing when I say this. I'm stopping it, so I back Leicester to beat us, and then we win 6-2. So since then, I've decided every time I fell into the trap this week of saying we're going to beat, we're going to win in the Champions League 3-0. Again, disappointing result. So I'm back to this. We're going to lose. We're pathetic. We can't string passes together. It's going to be a terrible game, and we'll lose without offering any goal threats. Sonny and Kane have got no chance of scoring 2 goals each.
Well, with that, Jacob, you want to go through the score predictions?
Is this a good time to do that? Yeah, let me go ahead and pull that banner up.
All right, so Kuba.
Well, we didn't do starting 11. Do you want to do starting 11 first? Or you want to do that after?
Sure. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Kuva, what formation are we going to start with? And who do you see much changes, if any? What are you thinking?
Well, let's see. Well, let's have Romero at the back. He can be a sweeper, keeper, defender, and then we'll just throw everybody else forward on the midfield. So we'll go with a 1-6-4 formation.
All right.
Yeah, that'll do. Just see if we can get something, because it's not worth bothering with the rest.
Okay. Michael, you want to hit me with...
all right, go on then. It's going to be Lloris in goal. Well, I don't think we're going to drop him. He's too established in this team.
He's the skipper.
Yeah, exactly. Club captain, skipper on the pitch. It's got to be Romero. It's going to be Dyer. I think it's going to be Longley, because I think despite the fact it's Champions League on Tuesday, we need league points, because if we drop out of the top 4 this season, it's a disaster. It could be a very long time before we get back into it again with the emergency and that. So I think we're going to prioritise on that. In which respect, since it's Bournemouth, I think we will see Perisic left wing back, Doherty right wing back, going for a fairly attacking sort of style. Got to be Højbjerg, Bentancur. I think we might see Basuma in this time as well, because we're going to have the attacking wing backs, so we're going to solidify the midfield, I think. And then we'll just see Kane and Sonny up front. Hill coming off the bench again.
Hill off the bench, okay.
I think for me, we'll go 3-4-3. Conte did say that playing Romero tomorrow would be a risk, so I do expect Sanchez to come in. I'm going to say Sanchez, Dyer, and then Longley. I agree, Kuva. I think Longley has to come in. And then I'm going to go... does Sessegnon come in? I feel like not. I'm going to go Perisic and Doughboy on the wing backs. I'm going to go Højbjerg and Bentancur in the middle. And I actually do think that Conte will start heel. I'll go heel, Kane, and Son up top. What about you, Jacob?
For me, I think Doughboy's going to start at the wing on the right, likely. I would like it to be Spence. Quite frankly, this is a team he played last season, so like, why not? I would want Spence. I think it's going to be Doherty, and then I think it's going to be Sanchez, Dyer, and Davies in the back line, just our worst back line we could come up with. And then I think our left back will be Sessegnon, even though I want to see.
Do you think Sess will come in?
This is a Sessegnon quality team.
Hey, you're not wrong.
I still have hope that Sessegnon can be something better, but at this juncture, he's still shown me meh. So I'm like meh. But I think he'll start over Perisic, and then in the midfield, I think it's going to be Bentancur and Højbjerg per usual. Unless Højbjerg is a little 50-50 like he has been, I could see him being rested for the much-needed Champions League game on Tuesday, a.k.a. my birthday, a.k.a. better not fuck this up, Spurs, because I'm going to be pissed. My whole day is going to be... I told my family they're all going to pay the price. If Spurs
just don't watch it. Don't watch the game.
For real. You might need to just spare your birthday and not watch it.
How can I not watch it, though?
To enjoy.
I'll never forget when we played United on my birthday and Ronaldo shat on us. And I was just left in awe. Just like, what just happened?
He had the hat trick on your birthday.
Yeah, unfortunate.
So I think we'll see Højbjerg, Bentancur in the midfield to try and give us some solidity, I guess, because maybe that's what Conte thinks. And then I think Son, Kane, and Mora is the likely option because, yes, everyone has been like, oh, Brian Hill, he did this and that. Like, yeah. When Conte hears shit like that coming from the fans, he tends to do the opposite. So I think he's going to stick with Lucas and then bring Brian Hill off the bench. Even though I would like to see Hill over Mora personally, just for this match specifically. So that's my 11. And it's not a very optimistic 11. It's pretty much just like throw out there whoever the hell, but that's my prediction anyway. Next. Michael, would you like to go first, or should we allow the cherry popping magnificent man below us?
No, let's let Kuva go first.
Yeah, you're right. And then also the chat. Get in your score predictions and your goal scores. I'll star them, and we'll read them out after we give our prediction.
Right. Well, I'll have to go with the 2 predictions, but I've got to end up with the negative one because that's the one that matters. So my first reaction would be for a serious scoreline. I think we can probably get a 2-1 win. I think it's going to be a bit closer than we're hoping it would be. But I think we must have too much for them, surely. We're talking about a team that's just come up again from the lower division. Shoestring budget, players that don't get in most teams. We've got to have too much for them. But it's away from home, it's going to be tight. We're not good away from home. However, I've got to go for the negative scoreline just because it never works if I'm positive.
Oh, no.
Bournemouth will just play us off the park. We're losing 1-0 and look like a team that should be relegated.
Okay. So I'm hoping the opposite.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I want the first one, but I've got to stick with the second one. We're going to be terrible and lose.
Is it like a Sanchez own goal, Dyer own goal?
Oh, when we lose, double Dyer own goal.
Ooh.
Double Dyer.
Ooh.
Oof. That's a big oof.
It's not going to be a pretty sight in the upcoming streams if Dyer starts or if
Michael,
he's struggling the way he's been doing.
Before your prediction, has Casey made
taking a nap right now? When we wrap up, I'll wake her up.
Okay. She's sleeping. Mike, do you want to go first with your score prediction?
I'm gonna go 2-0. I'm gonna go 2-0 with a Kane brace. I'll leave it at that. What about you, Jacob?
That feels like a loss.
I've been talking a lot of shit, but I will say I think we'll still win 2-0.
Bro, that genuinely feels like a loss to me right now. Like, if we only won by 2-0, like, I don't know. I would take it. It's a win. 3 points is really, at the end of the day, all that matters. But for me, I still see us conceding one because, like we've been talking about most of this show, this back line is the equivalent of when my dog, he goes outside, if his stomach doesn't feel good, he'll eat grass until he throws it up. And I feel like it's like that. So we're definitely going to concede one. And then I think our goal scorers, I'm saying a 5-1. We should go out there and stomp these fucking cherries, make some cherry marmalade out of their ass, and spread it all over the cheeks of ours. And I want to see a strong, dominant performance. Again, I still see us conceding, but I'm gonna say a 5-1 score line.
5-1.
With that one either being like an Eric Dyer own goal, Sanchez header, Hugo Lloris tries to clip it out and it doesn't, or just some random dude. We're just like, hey, you want a fucking clear path to the goal? And we just let him do that. I think it's going to be one of those that, but 5-1, I'm saying Kane 2, Sonny 2, and then like a mystery goal score. I like a mystery goal score.
Oh no, we've got to have own goal. Own goal was a really good scorer for us last.
He was consistent last season. Yeah. He was.
He might take away one of Sonny's goals. He might take away one of Sonny's.
This season.
He was keeping Sonny off the score sheet. Yeah. He was keeping Sonny off the score sheet for a little bit there. So Owen Goal might make an appearance. You're right. He might take one of those Sonnies away. But I still think
5 away goals though, Jacob. We've only won 2 away games. Forest and Brighton.
This is Bournemouth.
Yeah, I think
you do know Kulusevski's not playing, don't you?
When we played a team, I see this team like a Norwich. I know more players for Norwich than I do for Bournemouth. I see this as like that level. We should go out, and you're right, Kulusevski's not playing. He was a monumental in the beginning of that game. The domination that was a Norwich away to end the season last season. But I think this is a good time for us to turn that away form around and really start spanking on some boys. I said that for Arsenal. I said that for Stamford Bridge. I also said that for Old Trap Fart, but I was wrong. Chelsea, I was almost right, but I was pretty much wrong. But this is a team that's not those teams. This is not that guy. This is worse than Lisbon. This team can't beat Lisbon. This is an opportunity to show that we're not so poo-poo. And if we only come out with a 2-0 win, to me, that still shows signs of like, what the hell were we doing for 70 minutes if we only scored 2 goals? I don't know. Maybe I'm being pessimistic.
I was secretly confident until you said this is an opportunity for us to go and show we're not shit. No, you just know we're going to.
Now we're going to be shit.
We're definitely going in there shitting now, yeah. Yeah, the United game was tough for all of us. Apparently, I think you and Nicholas Carlson might have the same birthday, or his must have been.
No, I think she's talking about the United game that just happened. I was referring to the Ronaldo game from last year that was on March 12th.
And Nick Carlson must have been. So Nick must have been talking about his birthday most recently. Okay, yeah. I was like, y'all must have the same birthday. That's cool. But instead, I was wrong. Let's see. Let's get through some of these. I actually haven't started a lot of them because I was just listening to y'all. So here we go. I'm seeing them come in.
Spurs always ruin my birthday though, because I always feel a lot older than I am by watching this club.
They haven't been good to me recently on my birthday.
Jacob, have you eaten the grass? No, I don't eat the grass with my dog. That's a dog thing, man. Why would I eat the grass? Sorry, I'm going through and I'm starring these. What's up, Ryman's son? Happy Friday, all. Happy Friday to you. I do not like your profile photo, quite honest, if I'm honest, because it's kind of... I don't like that guy's face. Yeah, it's triggering. Yeah, there you go. So we'll run through some of the predictions from the chat.
Red, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like, you see his fucking smile and his perfectly combed hair, and it's just like, I want to punch him. Nick Collison says 2-1 Spurs with no goal scorers, just random goals. Got it. Full Bull, Bournemouth 3-4 Spurs. Mike and Kuva brace, and Jacob own goals.
All right.
Hey, if
I'll
I'm
try my best.
Hey, come on, Mike. Kuva, we need a big performance. Braces out of the both these. Bournemouth 1, Spurs 3 with a Kane hat trick, says David Clark. And he has the crystal ball, so this might be what the reality is. You know, if Kane had a hat trick, I'll take it. I won't see that as like a 2-0 loss if Kane gets a hat trick. That's just me. Nervy 0-1 Bentancur goal streak continue. All right, Wolves, I like it. We still get 3 points, but not a dominating performance. Juan Daniel Sandoval says 1-2 Yid Army. No one's scoring the goals, but we win. Very nervy game. Why is it so close? Everyone thinks it's going to be close, and I'm getting a little worried. Cody Mack score prediction: Tottenham Hotspur 3, Bournemouth 0. Time to do some laundry, get them sheets clean again. There you go. Clean sheet. I like it. Steak with the ever so accurate predictions as always. 69-0. Spurs 30 for Lloris and 39 for Emerson. Quite the day. Right. Quite the day. David Clark, let's tear it up if we don't care. Let's tear it up. I don't care if we win 8-7.
That's the spirit. That's the kind of football I
And Carl Simpson echoes that. Says, I just won 3 points. I agree.
You got to score more goals than the other team. Doesn't matter how many you let in, as long as you score more.
Kane brace, Bentancur back-to-back bags. Okay, let's go. Up in the bag. Tom Markkinen from the Lover's Lane says 2-2. I predicted a defeat versus Lisbon and drew, so we should win. Come on, Tom Markkinen. I hope we win. God, I hope we win. 2-0 loss. If Kill starts, 5-0 loss from Scott M. The ever positive. Always has the greatest predictions. Scott M, big up yourself. From the official supporters group. Intaj. Wow, 5-11 was going to say... Oh, 5-1. That's exclamation mark? Oh, 5-1. I was going to say 1-0 Spurs. I'm saying 5-1. I just want to see.
We could actually win the Champions League, and Scott M would say, we still conceded a goal, though. It feels like a loss.
David, that's so true. David Clark says if we're going to score 5, we will have to up it in the tunnel, not after 60 minutes. Actually, we got a couple more predictions come in here. Let me see. Ryman's son says a smile is haunting, but yet you chose to make it your profile photo. That's big up yourself, man. The ref and VAR ruined my birthday on Wednesday evening. Sorry about that, Carl.
Sorry,
Seems like
man.
everyone's birthday's
Sorry,
getting
Carl.
ruined this season. So now I'm starting to think my birthday versus Marseille is going to be a bad day. I hope that's not the case. Total chatty is a total chat. What's up, Mick? Big up yourselves. Good evening, Jacob Kuva and company. I'm assuming that means Michael. Carl Simpson, 3-1 Spurs. Let's go, Carl. Let's go, Carl. Kane will have an assist to himself. Oh, he will have to assist himself. Let's see. McCormick, Spurs to win 2-1, Kane and Sonny. It's a tight-knit game right there still. Everyone seems to think it's going to be tight. I'm the only one that's saying we should bust it wide open. Tight like a toiga. Raymond's son, 3-1 Spurs. Sonaldo Hattie. Let's go. If Son had a Hattie again, if we get...
That'd be nice too, yeah.
That would be nice.
If either one of them get a hat trick, I'll be ecstatic about that result. If we get 3 points and they get a hat trick, I don't care if we win by one.
Kane with 3 brilliant through balls, Sonny with a hat trick. That'd be nice.
The wettest part of that, the most moistening part of that whole thing is, I've told Michael this, I've shared it on the stream. My favorite part about when Son and Kane link up for a goal is that all-time record. There's another notch, and we literally just witness pieces of history every time that happens. So I take that away from some games, even though it's not the best game. But if they get a goal together off the assist from one another, you know, that fun little stat that they got, most dynamic duo in Premier League history, all that fun stuff. So I like that personally. Ben Kaufman says 2-0 win, Sonny and Kane. Let's have it. Hey, I mean, that's what you said, Mike. 2-0?
2-0.
Okay.
I said Kane brace.
Kane brace. Okay. 2 Sonny assists. I like it. Big up, Carl. Big up yourself, Carl Simpson. Sonny gonna have to loosen up that cherry and rip it up. That's right. Yep. The one and only to do so. Let me take down this banner.
I think the good thing, take the result out of it from Wednesday night, but one of the pleasing things was Sonny was at least getting in positions, getting a few shots off and hitting the target. They're not going in, but at least he's there and he's getting in the right places. So perhaps we just need a little bit of adjustment on the telescopic sights on his boots and hat trick away.
Let's go, Kuva. Let's go.
I will lose one now and be rubbish.
Kuva sexy. There is something we like to do here at the end of our streams, and we like to give our final thoughts. And that could be anything from Spurs related to your life to not your life, maybe Mother Nature. I don't know. Maybe whatever you want it to be. What's your one final thought before we sign out of this bugger?
Okay, I'm going to go for something fairly serious for a change, but it's important. Talking with a few people the other day about the Spurs community on YouTube in particular. And for me and a lot of people, we all came into this community during COVID, and it was a way of socializing while being stuck in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And over the months where COVID sort of eased off, people are getting out and about, normal life's resuming in as big a way as it can. We've kind of lost that feeling. There's now divisions amongst the channels and people at each other's throat, and we've lost this sense of community that we did have, and it's a shame. So part of the reason why I want things to work out with Conte is just so we can all get back on the same page and loving this club like we should do, and everybody's happy and smiling faces all round. We don't need to be arguing about what's the way forward and why we're unhappy about this and why we're unhappy about that. So yeah, big up to everybody, and let's get back to what it was. Some winning ways and perhaps a trophy at the end of the season.
And some hugs?
And some hugs, yeah. Get it.
Virtually and physically, in real life. That's what I'm about.
Let's go for it, man. Just you saying Bentancur is enough for me.
Bentancur. Let that be a unifying statement we can all get behind. Bentancur. I like it, Kuva. That's a great
love, Bentancur.
Yeah, that's a great final thought, though, and thank you for saying that, because I, for one, agree. It's interesting when you come into a new thing that you haven't done before. Speaking for myself personally, just for one, was excited to be there, meet new people from across the pond and all over the world, and chat and talk about the same common denominator in all of our lives, and that's Tottenham Hotspur, and it's something we all care about. So for me, that was a big motivational factor here. And then what's kept me going is I think the community, even though there's cracks in everything that you do in life, there's going to be cracks that show at some point. But the people that, you build a bond with and you communicate with, whether it be on stream, whether it be on the back end, whether it be just during game day, whatever it may be, like I'm all about the love and the hugs. And we all love Tottenham. Well, I have a problem when people go at other people for personal things. And that's where I think that things can get skewed. And I agree, Kuva. Let's just get back to the love. Let's just get back to the hugs and the love of Tottenham and appreciation of each other, because I think at that time you're talking about during COVID, everyone was just more or less just appreciating the fact they could communicate with people because we were all kind of locked in our own little caves. And so we're not locked in our caves, but to me it's still a blessing to be able to communicate with people such as yourself, obviously Michael, and then everyone else that I get the chance to speak to. Y'all know who you are, so for me, there's still that little bit of special part that goes. And I guess that's kind of my final thought too. I'll tag on with you, Kuva. Just that let's get back to loving Spurs and giving out hugs, man. The funny thing about YouTube is it's a huge, endless supply of content. Why would anyone want anyone else to not produce anything? That's my final thought. Like, the room's big enough for everyone to fit in here. Let's all just have a good time and talk Spurs. And some people thrive off the drama. Maybe that's what helps get their channels some love. But for me, anyone who's followed this channel, they know what Michael and I stand for. They know the kind of people we are. So Michael, that's also my final thought. I appreciate being on stream with you, brother.
Appreciate you too, man. Yeah, no, my final thought is don't be weird and creepy online, and treat everyone with respect. That's all I'll
Don't
say.
be weird and creepy online. I love it, Michael.
That's asking for a bit much.
These days, huh?
Yeah, these days for
But
sure.
Not too creepy and weird online, maybe.
There you go. There you
Ben
go.
Kaufman, let's all be best buds. Yes, sir. All love here. Yes, sir. Puppy time. Maybe not. I don't know. She might be sleeping. Larry scores tomorrow. Kuva spot
Right
on.
back.
Steak a kur. Queen Ellie with Tottenham till I dive. What's up? Says, up.
The
Oh, up,
quad
all
is
you lovely
still
lads. Jacob, Michael, and Kuva's. The quad is still on, Kuva. It's not on. I can say that much. Big
We're
up
in it,
yourself,
so
Ellie.
we're
With
not.
Tottenham till I die. Go check them out. And thank you for also being a sponsor of this channel as well, Ellie. Thank you for tuning in. Carl Simpson, Jacob, you sound like Antonio Banderas when you say Bentancur. My mother loved Antonio Banderas. She was like
Yeah, he's
in love
cool.
with that. Yeah.
really cool,
He was
yeah.
Zorro. I thought that was pretty kick ass. Here we go. It's puppy time.
Hey.
KC.
Oh, my
She
God.
looks sleepy. She's like, why the hell
She
you
is.
waking me up?
She's a little
It's like,
sleepy.
oh god, this is like watching Spurs.
Exactly. She's like,
Yeah,
yo,
this
woke
is
me
how
up
she
for
feels
this.
after 90 minutes of Tottenham. Right here.
Hugs.
This is what it is.
Sexy people. That's what Jacob and Mike stand for. Oh, yeah. You know it.
already
Cubes
know.
is weird and creepy online, though. So, Cubes, you get a pass. How about that? Big up, everyone. Come on, you Spurs. Let's have a great weekend, man. Come on. There's still so much in the season to play for. The table's busted wide open. Champions League is ours for the taking, so we choose. It's just like, I mean, there's still so much to be positive, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm always a positive person. I've never predicted us to lose, only to draw at our worst. So I'll keep it that way. Cody Max says dogs that look like their owners.
I'm honored. She's a cutie.
Another reason we have to win is because it's a Saturday game, so you don't want to ruin your entire weekend right at the start of it, do you? You just
No.
if we're going to lose, let it be Sunday evening and you can just go to bed straight away.
I agree with that, Kuva. Come on, let's get this dub. But big up everyone who's joined the chat. Big up everyone who has also gone to the Patreon. It is linked at the top of the chat. Big ups to everyone who also clicked that like, clicked that subscribe. We got one subscriber during the show. So we're at 357
yeah.
now. That's one more on the road to 500. So big up yourselves. Big up Chris Augenbar. Big up Carl Simpson. I see y'all showing some love. David Clark, 10-inch Allen. Obviously, I'm going to have to shout out our loyal patrons, our beautiful patrons are all spread out all over the place. But big ups to Soggy Undies Club with Alan Sibley, 10-inch himself, and Reyes Jr. Big up yourself, brother. In the 10-inch club, Faraz, Gogama, Queen Ellie with Tottenham Till I Die. She was in the chat. Go check her channel out. And see Shearman as well. Big up the 10-inch club. Our official supporters, Scott M. Big up yourself and your positive predictions. James Jors, big up yourself. Have a great weekend. Jay Coe, thank you for always being a loyal supporter and official patron. David, big up yourself as well. Aaron Dub and Jack K. Y'all mean so much to me, as well as these final people I'm going to mention at the end in the Lovers Lane. Bobby K with 3 Spurs Boys. Great channel. Go check him out. Gina Kim, Tom Markinen. He's been in the chat chiming in. What's up, Tommy? And C Cubed. As always, lots of love for you, C Cubes, over here on United Spurs of America. But, Michael, anything else you want to add?
Nothing else, man. Just if you're traveling to the game tomorrow, please be safe, be loud, be proud. We'll be watching on the telly across the pond. And thank you so much to Kuva for joining us today, our very special guest. Another cherry popped, another mission accomplished, Jacob. But first off, thank you, Kuva. And I also want to thank you, Jacob, for taking the time out of your day, being here with all of us. All of us, you know, just it's kind of like a therapy session, at least these past 2 weeks have been.
Yeah.
How we've been playing recently. But regardless, thank you guys so much for joining us today. And thank you so much for listening to another edition of the United Spurs of America podcast, hosted live on our very own YouTube channel every single Friday. We'll see you same time, same place next week. We have a big game tomorrow, a big game midweek. We'll be previewing a big game next weekend as well. Until then, stay safe, be loud, be proud, big up the lads. And Jacob,
come on, you Spurs. Pop them cherries.
United Spurs of America with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.